Hey guys, Simpson2142 here, and no, I will not be reporting live from the internal pits of Elo Hell today, but rather the Crackfest of a stadium, which is the new custom games feature on the PTR. Now, first up, I am going to apologise because despite having a video talking about the custom game modes, much of the background footage will be standard gameplay from competitive in the live patch. This is because despite playing a load of custom games, the day I decide to actually record some of the games is the day Sky Broadband once again decided it was going to slash my connection speed and leave me with games full of lag. So sorry about that. If you're from the UK, however, and can recommend me a better broadband provider to prevent this madness occurring in the future, then please do leave it in the comment section. I am open to suggestions. Anyway, back to Overwatch. Now, custom games itself is not a new feature per se, it's been around as far as I'm aware since the game's launch. But what's changed is that Blizzard have not only given us far more options to play with for these custom games, but most crucially they've introduced the server browser system for which we can happily browse to find the types of games we want to play. And there are already a lot of game modes out there, each varying widely from one another. I think my personal favourite so far is what we call boss mode, where it's generally a 5 versus 1 setup. The person who is on their own, as you can quite easily guess, is the boss, and they possess a huge health pool and normally some other buffs like speed and damage increase, and they have to go up against 5 regular heroes and try and defeat them. There is no respawning, so it's just whoever manages to kill who first. The boss character is limited to one hero pick, usually it's a tank character like Winston, Reinhardt or Roadhog. The Winston one is a particular favourite of mine as he has no range but great mobility. So he is effectively like a Peter Jackson King Kong, leaping through the air and majorly fucking up whatever gets in his way. Now at the moment, most game modes tend to assign the tanks as the boss character, but I would love to personally see this venture out to other heroes, like a beefed up Pharah who has to be taken out by a team of Soldier 76s, or even a Mercy with increased speed and damage who has finally gotten sick of constantly dying trying to save everyone's ass and just goes on a roided up killing spree. Another favourite of mine is the Omnic Crisis mode, which is obviously taken inspiration from the Bastion short, where we have a team of Bastions versus a team of Reinhardts. The Bastions have a slight buff in health, but the Reins get a much bigger health boost and can also get an insta-kill through a Fire Strike. Then you get other game modes like CSGO, where everything is actually toned down to be more realistic, to be more like Counter-Strike Go. You get hit scan heroes like Soldier, McCree, Widow and Sombra, and some of their abilities have been disabled such as McCree's forward roll, and all heroes only get 100 health. I am just personally loving the freedom and creativity this customization gives to the community. I mean, you have to look at games like Gary's Mod where the fan base essentially makes the game, and the developers just have to sit back there and watch the money roll in. In Overwatch, you have 23 heroes, each with their own unique abilities. There is so much customization potential out there. And all this crazy sporadic gameplay has been a huge breath of fresh air from all the recent competitive games I've been playing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy competitive, but sometimes it's just a little bit too serious, people are getting a little bit too angry, toxic, forming witch hunts on the other players who they don't believe are playing right. And with people constantly defining the meta and how the game should be played, the gameplay itself is very narrow and strict.
Alright guys, we need 2 tanks, 2 DPS and 2 healers. The tanks should be Reinhardt and Roadhog. You should play them in this particular playstyle, and if anyone deviates from this, I will call them a faggot and throw the game.
These custom games really do bring back the fun factor to Overwatch, and yes, we do have modes like quick play and arcade, but this is really just taking it to a whole new level. But despite everything I'm praising about this new customization mode, there are a couple of nitpicks I'd like to address. The first being that the search function on the server browser is pretty weak. So far, the only real options you have to narrow down your search are just preferences over heroes or maps you'd like to see. I'm hoping that as this mode develops, certain game modes will become more defined, and then can be searched for on their own merit. So if you like boss mode, you can filter out all boss mode games. If you like hide and seek, melee only, increased realism, etc, then there will be filters to only show these types of games. Another pick I have is kind of following on from this, where the way game mode rules are shown are a little bit inconvenient. Apart from the server title, there's no real indicator as to what you can expect. You have to right click on the server and go into this small window where it just plainly lists the rules implemented in a block of text. It's not really easy to immediately see what is enabled, disabled, enhanced, nerfed, etc. And I just think an alternate solution like having a complete full screen of what options have been selected, and maybe even some more filter searching just to further narrow down what you might be looking for in a game, could really help speed things up with choosing what is the right mode for you. The third pick I have, and not to sound mainstream, but I hope there will be a way of filtering the most popular servers and game modes, not just in player turnout, but also perhaps have a rating scheme where people can vote if they enjoyed their experience, kind of like what Mario Maker has going on at the moment. As there will no doubt be so many different servers out there, it could be tough trying to filter out the ones which had the more polished and fun enhanced experience. And finally, not really a pick itself, but more of a suggestion. I hope to see even more customization options in the future, like give players the ability to create basic maps for themselves, ones that can be focused around the specific game modes. Give them the power to play with heroes even more, changing their abilities and properties. I would love to have a randomizer mode where you get randomly chosen a hero with random abilities, kind of like the randomizer mode that was created in Team Fortress 2. So you would get crazy situations like a Reaper who possesses Winston's jumping skills, Reinhardt with Lucio's speed boost, or even a Mercy which possesses Reinhardt's charge ability. I mean, seeing this tiny support character charging a huge tank like Roadhog into a building would just be brilliant. Anyway guys, that's enough from me. Let me know what you think of the custom game mode, and are there any particular modes out there that you can recommend to me? I am open to suggestion. But until the next one guys, take care.